Hi everybody, hi out there in Flosstube land, Craft and Bev here. Hope everybody's having a great week. Um, this today is May 29th, 2019. This is my third Flosstube. As let's see. I want to thank everybody. Sorry, I keep looking at my notes. I had to make notes so I don't try and not forget anything. And I still think I think I still forgot to write something down. So anyway, for those of you who are scribed, thank you. And thank you for coming. And if you're coming here for the first time, I am a crafter. I do cross stitch, which this is mainly about. But I also show off other work such as in crochet, plastic canvas, and sewing. So, as you know, last week when I was on, I had to wear oxygen. I still do, but I had to go to the doctor's yesterday, and she said that when I'm, because I told her I was trying to do, YouTube videos. She said when I'm doing the YouTube videos, to keep the oxygen near me, but I don't have to wear it unless I feel like I can't get a breath in. So we're going to see how this goes. Also, one of my main problems that I was telling her is like I still have no energy. In fact, I have less energy now than I did before I got sick. And as she said, I'm still looking at 2 to 3 months, maybe 4, before I really start feeling the way I used to before all this crap happened. So, and by the way, if I cough, I'm sorry. That's going to be something else that I'm going to be dealing with for several months. So, I just have to take each day as it comes. I'm still walking. I am now walking just a little bit further than I used to. I used to walk out my door and walk the long hall down to the end of the utility door and then back to my door. Now I walk to the utility door and then back to the back door and then to my door. So I added a little bit more. Hopefully this weekend I'm going to try and walk the long hallway, which is I figure it is about 100 feet up there and 100 feet back. I need to get the exercise in. So it's going to be slow, but I'm going to do it. So yeah, and then yesterday she also prescribed compression stockings for my left foot because it swells up. It swells up badly, and she's trying to keep that from happening. So I thought, okay, so I'll be wearing a compression stocking. She wants it on my right foot too, but for some reason, when she ordered a pair, I don't think she realized that they can't order one size for one foot and one size for another. They can only order one for, one for one. It should say one for the left leg and one for the right leg. Go figure with some of this insurance. So what have I been doing? Well, I've been doing some cross stitch and other stuff. Let's see. I think what I'll do is the first thing I'll show you, sorry baby girl, is I have been also crocheting. Like I said, I do a lot of different crafts, and I like to, when I decorate for the holidays or for, or Christmas, for Christmas or Halloween or anything like that, I have a lot of handmade decorations that I have made. So one of the things, oops, come on you, don't. Sorry, I have a very stubborn box here. One of the things that I've been wanting to make is called the snowman family, I think. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Well, they're the snowman family, but they were sold, the father, mother, or snowman, snow woman, and then Snow Kids boy and girl. Now the Snow Kids came in one kit, and then the snowman another, and the snow woman in another. So anyway, the first, I put them in my wheel on my phone, my decision roulette, and the first one to come up was this one, which is the snow woman. I hope you can see that. Yeah, that's the snow woman. So that was the first one that I made. And ta-da! I got her done this week. One of the things I found out after I've already made her, I'm going to put a bag of some weights on the bottom because she keeps wanting to tip over. And I think if I put a little bit of weight down there, even if it's like a baggie of beans or something, not a whole lot, like maybe half a pound or 6 ounces or so, it'll help them all stand up because they don't have legs. They're kind of like roly-poly. So the next one, the others that I have, this is the snowman. He's a little bit taller, and these are the snow boy and girl, snow kids. So they're called snow babies. I call them snow kids. Unfortunately, because I was going to try and link the kit or the patterns to you, and I can't find them on Mary Maxim anymore. So, but that's where I got them from, was Mary Maxim. So if you go to the website, marymaxim.com, you might be able to find them. I couldn't. So hopefully, if you can, you'll find them there. They're not that hard to crochet. There's only one little area that's kind of confusing, but if you read the instructions carefully, you'll understand what needs to get done. Let's see, what else? Oh, I know something else. If you look back here, you'll notice that there's boxes missing. My helper, she moved all those boxes that were on that wall over to this wall in the room, and so that we can put my craft table up there. And then tomorrow we're moving one of the white shelves over to the other side, so that now as I'm unpacking the boxes, I can put the stuff on the shelves neatly. I need to get going because I'm getting really tired of sitting in that chair. And like I said, I'm crocheting, I'm cross stitching, I'm working on plastic canvas, and I've even done a little sewing. One of the ladies here, she came and asked me if I could put a hem in a couple of her dresses, which I did, but I want to be able to set up my sewing machine. I want to be able to go in there and paint, and I need to get that room done. Plus, I want to start getting rid of these boxes. So, yeah, I'm going to start taking video and put it on my organizing area to let people see what I'm doing. So, if you're interested in organizing, you can look forward to that. So, as I said, I'm also doing stitching. That, if you remember, last week I was working on one of my snow friends, snowmen, and where is he? She, them. They. Whoops. Get out of there. Except for the flurries, they're done. So that is the winter piece one. So I just have, there's just a few snow flurries. Let's see, a few that go right around here, and then a little bit over here, and a little bit over here. Not a whole lot, but that is like, I could have probably done that in about an hour, but unfortunately, I've had other things I've had to do today with everything that was going on. So next week I'll show you the rest of that and everything. So now, okay, what happened to you? Come on. Okay, so now let's see if I can show this without showing off the chart too much. This is the next one I'm going to be doing. I hope that's coming out right. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to start, if not tomorrow, the day after. So I didn't get my goals for this month done like I wanted to, but I'm bound and determined I'm going to start, you know, I'm going to try and get back into doing what I was going to do. I have to. I have to push through this fatigue. I have to push through all this, I don't want to call it pain, inconvenience. I want to push through all the inconvenience and get things done. Something else that I have been doing is, if you remember, I told you about my, no, I haven't, I take it back, I haven't been doing it, never mind, cross that out. If you remember, I was telling you about my cross stitch quilt. Let me see if I can get it. Now I was trying to find the ones that I've already done. I have several squares already stitched and sewn together, but unfortunately they're somewhere in a box. Can't find it right now, but I do have, I started a new set, so I'll show you what is going on. These are the squares that I'm talking about. Now when I get ready to put these in the quilt block, these will be cut where you see those black lines. Then they will be sewn to green, that particular set will be sewn to this green fabric into a 9 patch. Then when the 9 patch is made, it will be sewn to another, it'll be the quilt block, batting, and the backing. And it'll also have black sashing. It'll have black sashing on the right side and the bottom. And it'll have black sashing on the right side, or the side it'll match. And I will hand quilt that particular block. So I am hand quilting this whole quilt, and I'm doing it block by block. I believe the term is called lap quilting, but I do one of these every day. Every morning, I'm up between 5:30 and 6. I have my breakfast, which is my chocolate milk. Then I make one of those squares. Now, it does take about 2 hours for me to stitch one of those squares. The pattern, I can show you this one because this one happens to be my own design. I don't know what they're called. There was about 23, 24 of them online. So anyway, I downloaded them, and then they had some blanks, so I downloaded my, I've made my own. I've got about 2 or 3 here that are my own design. But if you notice, they're in quadrants. So if you look here to here, that is the pattern. And then it's repeated all the way around. They are never bigger than what you see here. And then they have an outline that is 2 blocks away from the actual design. So if you see, they all have the outline around them. I have, between the ones I got downloaded and the ones that I designed myself, I have 28 different blocks. So each 9 patch, when these are done, each 9 patch will be 6.5 inches block, plus the sashing is about 1.5 inches. So that does not have a deadline. It's just a matter of doing 1 square a day, 5 a week, and then putting the block together. So I am trying very hard to get keep that up, because that's what I was doing originally. If I can find the original container that I have them all in, it was that my problem is I'm stitching it on 16 count Aida, white Aida. I had 4 yards of 16 count white Aida, and I cut them out to do all these blocks, because that's what I was going to use it for. And believe me, it was going to take on, because I'm looking at about 500 squares to do the whole quilt, because I want a big quilt. Somewhere along the way, I only cut, if I remember right, I only cut about 2 yards of it. Somewhere along the way, I got mixed up with my 16 count and my 14 count. And I did a lot of squares on the 14 count. Well, when I went to go start putting them together, I realized that some wasn't coming right, that they weren't looking right. And it turns out, 14 counts bigger than 16 count. So almost half of what I had already done, I couldn't use. So needless to say, I was a little upset. I have an acquaintance that I knew back when. I said something on Facebook in this one group I was in, and she says, "What are you going to do with the blocks that you can't use?" And I said, "I don't know, throw them away, I guess. I can't use them." And she goes, "Send them to me." She goes, "I'll send you the postage." And I said, "No, I'll send them to you." So she gave me her address, and I sent them off to her. Well, she ended up making a baby blanket out of it, and it came out really cute. I don't have a picture. But because I have them in red, green, let me see, do I have, there it is. This is all the different fabrics, like, whoops. Not now, nope, no pink. See, I'm doing it like in all these different reds. I have a bunch of different pinks, as you can see, purples, yellows, greens, blues, yellows, yeah, yellows, greens, blues, purples, pinks, light pink and dark pink. But anyway, she separated them to where they're all over the place, but she did them in kind of like really neat. She didn't do them in 9-patch or anything like that. But it came out really cute. And in the center, she had the baby's name and the birth date, and all that kind of stuff. So I was glad those blocks was able to get to good use and everything. So like I said, I've been getting up every morning. I have one more block to do for that particular color, the green, and then I will sew that green quilt block together. I'm not going to quilt it. I'm not going to put it together for quilting because, 1, I don't have the black fabric yet, and 2, I don't have the batting yet. Batting is something that I'm going to have to buy a little at a time, because I'm looking at about $100 for all the batting I'm going to need. But it will be worth it. Eventually, it will get done, and I will have a new quilt to put on my bed or to put around me when I'm sitting on those cold nights and watching a good movie or something, because I'm always watching movies, or I'm binge watching TV shows. Right now, I'm binge watching on Netflix, Lemony Snicket's and a Series of Unfortunate Events. They got all 3 seasons on, and I want to see them all. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. Then I'm also binge watching, can't think of it right now. I'm watching, Van Helsing. I know they never finished it, but I'm just kind of curious to see how it is and all that. So, then, let's see. Another thing that I'm working on is called, is my Christmas garland. Now, I started this last year on January 1st. I thought if I made one of these a day, and a few days make two because I, wanted to hang it, that I would have, 365, actually 381 rings would be plenty to go around my living room. And I mean, here's all of the, here it all is, from what I did. Each one is stitched separately and then hooked to the ring. The way I do it is they're made out of, I am so disorganized today, sorry. Anyway, they're made, oh, here they are. These aren't cleaned yet, but they're made out of plastic canvas. I take a sheet, draw out the patterns, cut them, clean them so they don't have the black on them, and then I stitch them red, white, or green. Then they will look like, come here you, they look like these. So they look like these. I then take one at a time, and in the order that I have them, I start connecting them to the chain. Well, like I said, last year I did 381 of them. And on Thanksgiving, I had them all connected. And I'm thinking, okay, now I can, the only thing I hadn't done was gotten the ornaments finished that I wanted hanging from each peak of where, it goes this way, like that. Every 2 feet was going to be, where it peaks up. I hadn't gotten the ornaments made that was going to do that, but I figured I can still put the lights and the garland up. It went down this wall you see here, from where it starts over here. You can see right there where it starts, right there. And it got all the way over to the next wall and a little bit on that wall. Yeah. So I still have to have it go on this wall, which is the same length as that wall. So I need, let's see, 381. So I figure at least 430 to get them, so that it goes all the way. I need 430 more to get them to go all the way around the way I want it. Yeah, I'm doing it. Every night my alarm goes off at 8 o'clock, and that means make a link. And so I do 1 link a night, and there's times where I even do 2 if I'm sitting there and I'm watching a movie, and if I get it done by 9:30, I will make another one. It usually takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to do one, and sometimes I can get 2 done by 11:30. So here, when I have about 100 of these made in here, about 100 of them, I will spend a weekend putting those on the chain that I already have made, and keep going until, then I, keep adding more. But I'm gonna, I'm gonna do my best. I'm not gonna guarantee it will get done, but I do guarantee that if not this Christmas, by next Christmas, I will have it done. So that is something else, that I've been working on. And yes, I'm keeping busy. I have to. It's just, I can't, I'm getting tired of just sitting here doing nothing. One moment. Just need to slow down a little bit. And as I said, let's see, I showed you the snow friends I'm going to work on. My 12 days, I told you I was going to start on the 3 French hands. I'm going to get started on that, in fact, tomorrow. And the quilt and the garland and my crochet snow lady. So, as I said, I'm going to work on the next snow friends, which is the welcome one. I don't think that should take me too long, but then again, no telling. Um, oh, one of the other things I'm going to be working on is this. I didn't work on any of this week, but I want to make another one of these ornaments over the next 2 weeks. I just, it'll take me about 2 weeks to make one if I take my time. I figure if I work on it for 30 minutes every day, I will get the 2 made for one ornament. And the one that I'm going to work on next is, I don't know if you can see it, it's this one, but I'm doing it in red and green. So that's the one I'm going to work on next. So, like I said, 30 minutes a day. Also, I'm going to work on my dragon 30 minutes a day. Probably that one even maybe an hour a day. My plan is the way my days go, or the way I'm planning my days. Like I said, I get up every morning between 5:30 and 6. By 6:15, I start working on one of those little squares. By 8 o'clock, 8:30, I'm done working on one of those little squares. If I have all 5 of them done, then that means in the next 2 days, I don't need your fur. Thank you, baby girl. She was scratching herself, and I don't know if you saw it, but there's a little tuft of fur flying around. I'm going to spend the 2 other days, because 5 days a week I work on the squares, and the other 2 days I will sew them into the 9 patch. And yes, I'm sewing them by hand. And then when I eventually get the black fabric, and then I'll start sewing the sashing on to start putting them together. So I'm going to work on a square. Then I'm going to spend about an hour working on my snow friends. Then I'll spend an hour working on my 12 days of Christmas. Then I'll spend an hour working on the folded star ornament. Let's see. And chances are I have more to do. And if I'm not in there yet sewing or painting or whatever, then I'll go back and work some more on my snow friends or my 12 days. Like I said, if I've been cross-stitching most of the day, then chances are sometime around 6 or 7, I may start working on one of the Christmas links and try and get 2 done a night, so I can get those all finished and put together so they can get hung up. Let's see. Oh, and then I also, part of the day, I want to be able to work. I think I'm going to work, I don't know which one of the snow people I want to work on. I have a roulette wheel on my phone, and I think I might spin to see which one. I know it sounds stupid. I have 3 of them to do, and I can't decide which one to do. So I figure spin the roulette wheel and let it decide. So I'll work on that and get it going. Let's see. Yeah, and like I said, the 12 days. One of the things I didn't tell you is, or I think I did tell you, the 12 Days of Christmas came from a magazine called Cross Stitching Country Crafts. It came out of this edition, the March-April 1989 edition. I didn't even know I have the patterns on my computer, and I downloaded them in a working copy. I went to the library, and lo and behold, this was in the stand that they had for sale for 25 cents. I didn't know if I had it or not. I didn't, I just grabbed the ones they had, and it turns out I already have this one, because this is the very edition that my 12 Days of Christmas has come out of. So I don't need it anymore. My daughter says hold on to it because somebody may want it. I might do a giveaway someday when after the holidays and I'm a little bit more financially Sorry if I keep moving around. I sit so much. I'm a little uncomfortable. So I'm trying very hard, to do this. Anyway, oh, that was the other thing. Last week, after I did my video, I had to go to Michael's. I needed floss. Yeah, I needed floss badly. I was running out a lot of floss. And plus I have other projects I want to get started. Oh, that's the other thing I want to get started, is my W for my winter banner. And so I needed to go get the floss for that. I needed to go get floss for a couple other projects. So, yeah. I had a cute, it was really weird. First, my daughter goes, okay, Mom, please don't sit there and drool over everything. Okay, I didn't. She goes, Mom, please don't sit down and start working on something because you have to buy it first. Okay, I didn't. Mom, you don't need to fondle all the yarn, all the paper, all the floss. Just get in there, get what you need, and get out. That didn't happen. I got in there, and 10 minutes after I got in the aisle where the floss was, I couldn't stand anymore. I was about ready to pass out. So I texted my daughter. She was still in the car. And I said, I need you to bring my chair. I can't stand anymore. And I'm about ready to pass out. So I said, I'm in where the embroidery floss is by the yarn. So she came in with my wheelchair. And so I was able to sit there. And I just called out the numbers. And she got all the floss for me. Plus, I went and got some other stuff. I needed some needles. And I also needed to get... there was some other stuff I had to get. Well, when I got to, and I had a coupon for 25% off of everything I bought, no matter what. Sale, clearance, whatever. 25% off of everything. Before the coupon and everything, my total order was $96. And I panicked just a little because I only had about $80. I thought, no, the coupon will take care of it, so I can get this. Well, she scanned the coupon and it wouldn't work. And it was within date. The date, it didn't expire until Sunday. And I'm just like, no. I said, that should work. And she says, well, let's try something. She says, what's your phone number? And I said, if you're doing for the club, my phone number doesn't work. We have to do it by my email address. And she goes, okay, well, let me have that. So I gave her my email address. And she tried a coupon that she had up there at the desk. So she scanned it. Well, then that coupon and the 25% coupon both worked. And it was 40% off of some of the other stuff that I had bought. It wasn't for everything. It was for certain items. So lo and behold, the $96 came down to $33.99. So I'm like, score, yes. Yeah, as tired as I was and as much pain I was in, I was a happy camper. So yeah, so I got all this floss. I haven't bagged it yet or tagged it or put it in my notebook. I have a notebook that has all the floss numbers in it. And I will now get it all listed. And I will know what I have and don't have and what I need to get the next time I go to get floss. So yeah, that you will not see haul here that often. Once a month, I do order from Stony Creek. They always have a free chart. And if it's a chart that I want, I will pay the $3.50 to get it. And then sometimes I know people say charts can't travel alone. If I can, I will try and get another chart or something else to go with it. Because, as long as it's small, because I've already paid the, the shipping for the chart. So why not, get something else to go with it. So that should be here within the next week or so, depending on how fast they send it out. I just ordered it early today. So, yeah, so let's see. So that means Quilt Square, Snow Friends, 12 Days of Christmas, Ornament, Winter Banner, the W. I want that done for this month of June. Well, next month. My Dragon, garland. That's not even counting my sewing project. Like I said, I'm going to be busy. And then plus trying to get that organized. It's slowly getting there. We went through almost 7 boxes today. And like I said, the way they packed, here's these great big, they're 24 by 24 by 24, these boxes. So you have these 2 feet high boxes that are 2 feet square, and the stuff is only about that high in the box. And the rest is all this paper. So, yeah. Let's see, today we found one of the things I've been working on are these tea light glasses. We found those. Found a lot of odds and ends, you know, found like all my matches for another project I'm working on. We found my clay. But we didn't find the machine, my clay, my pasta machine. We haven't found it yet. We found a box of stuffed animals, so and the net that goes in the corner. So that as soon as we're going to hopefully clear that corner out tomorrow, so that we can hang that up right away. What else did we find? Oh, a lot of my wooden stuff that needs to be painted. So all that's under my bed, and a lot of my ceramics that have to, for painting, that's under my bed. So, yep. I'm busy. I'm tired all the time. I told somebody one time, I said, I swear somebody switched out my embroidery needles and they weigh like 5 pounds. My crochet hook sometimes feels like it weighs 10 pounds. And she goes, well, we're going to put a notice in on the board for somebody to come back and give you back your lightweight ones. And I go, tell me about it. And one of the other things is we went to Dollar Tree and we couldn't find any more of the stacking blocks, so I have to wait for those. But I did find collars for the girls. So hopefully tomorrow, because we went there yesterday before I went to the grocery store. So hopefully tomorrow, I'm going to undo the collars off the card. And when baby girl comes to lay next to me, snap. Okay, she's got her collar on. Penelope's easy. Penelope, she comes up, and all I have to do is unsnap the collar and put the new one on, and she just sits there and lets me do it. So she's easy. I bought 4 things of silly putty. 2 of them are glow in the dark. No, 3 are glow in the dark, and 1's not. Yes, I like silly putty, just to sit there and stretch it and all that. I know it sounds weird, nutty, but sometimes when I'm trying, it's one of the reasons why I like playing with toys. I have building blocks that I've been painting. It's the ABC blocks you get at the Dollar Tree. I've been painting them and putting designs on them and everything. I like sitting there and stacking them and putting them in different forms when I'm trying to think of something that I want to do to a particular project. And if I can't think it out, I start doing something else, but that's not crafting. So like playing with my blocks, playing with my little silly putty, or playing with my pickup sticks, or different toys. I can't remember all that I have. But it helps. It helps me not think about the project, and then I think about what I want to do. My daughter says I'm going through my second childhood. I remember when I had my oldest daughter, and I was taking a night school class for, I forget what it was, something to do like crocheting or paper mache or something like that. I don't remember what the class was. but it was also to be kind of like, let's see, it was one, it was crafting, and another was like an enrichment, health, not health, improvement type class, improve your well-being. And they said, I want you to write an essay on what you wanted to do when you were little. What was it you wanted to do when you grew up? So, and I thought, well, that's simple. So I wrote that I said, I knew I'd have to have a regular job to earn money. And that's why I learned that's why, I was going to go in the Marine Corps and, play in the band and everything. But I wanted also to grow up to be a kid because I like playing with toys. I like dolls. I like playing with toys. So he made a comment. He said, yeah, a lot of you had a lot of ideas when you were what you wanted to do. And he says, but I had one here, very unique idea of what she wanted to do when she grew up. And he says, honestly, I think it's the best one I've ever read. And they're like, why? What does she want to do? And she goes, she wanted to grow up to be a kid. And this one guy says, you can't grow up to be a kid. And I turned around and I said, can too. And I said, I'm trying to be a kid. I like being a kid. I like getting on the floor and playing with my little girl. And he says, that's not being a kid. And I go, you haven't played with kids apparently. So, yeah. But, and I do, and they say some people go through their second childhood as they get older. I don't think I'm going through my second childhood. I think I'm actually going through my first, because I'm not saying I had a bad childhood. It was just very sheltered and very structured. My parents, I went to Catholic school the first 7 years. So my life was filled a lot with church, coming home, homework, doing what I'm supposed to do around the house. I did have a couple Barbie dolls. I did have a Thumbelina, if you remember the old Thumbelinas. I had my comic books. I used to collect Superman comic books. But, yeah. So now, and then when I started learning how to crochet, like I said, when I was about 9, 10 years old and I learned to crochet, it was like, oh, I can make things. And I can't say the word, but anagomery, crocheted animals and crochet dolls. I love doing that. I have several that I have done, but I also like sewing them. So anyway, it's been almost 43 minutes. And unfortunately, I don't have any way to edit this, so I do apologize. I'm sorry. But I made it through without having to put my oxygen on, so I'm doing good. So, I hope that everybody has a great week. I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day. Please think kind of others. I know that this country is being torn apart right now by one-way thinking people. And we need to remember that this country was built on the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, and the Constitution. There was a reason why they wrote a Constitution, and we got to remember that is the law of the land. Please be kind to one another. Please think of others when something happens. Please don't think bad of them. Everybody have a good week, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.